What's up, people? I'm Erica, and this is Cocktails and Capitalism, a podcast that pairs crafted beverages with stories distilled from our capitalist hellscape. We are joined today by Chris Smalls. I'm so fucking excited to be speaking with you today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I've been looking forward to this for like over a year now. Really wanted to have this conversation with you. So I'm like just so grateful that you were even willing to take the time with me. So
thank you, Dave.
Chris Smalls is the president of the Amazon Labor Union and the face of the growing labor movement in America. To celebrate Hot Labor Summer, a concept and hashtag you've popularized, our resident anti-capitalist bartender Jesse Torres crafted a delicious, spicy cocktail by the same name. It's a refreshing drink made of bourbon or cognac. I use cognac in yours because I know you like that.
Oh, yeah.
Pineapple juice, muddled jalapeno, grenadine, and lime juice. And we kind of had a little disaster as we started because I put too much jalapeno in his.
It's all good. It's all good. Hot labor summer it is.
Yeah, totally. But all right. So can you tell us a little bit about your Hot Labor Summer tour and why you decided to kind of popularize this hashtag Hot Labor Summer?
It was just natural, you know. I was in the heat of a really good speech at Labor Notes in Chicago, and the crowd was really buzzing, and you know, I just like, wow, you know, it's summertime. It's so much energy in the room, you know, and everybody compares it to the Megan Thee Stallion song, and
Oh yeah.
I don't know why it might have just popped in my head for a second. I'm like, you know what? It's a Hot Labor Summer, and then I tweeted hashtag Hot Labor Summer, and then it just started sweeping across all different, you know, unions and people that's organizing across the country.
Fuck yeah. That's amazing. I love it because it's like really, it kind of illustrates your very like, you know, savvy, in touch with younger generation approach to organizing, because like you're trying to make something cool that might otherwise like teenagers and younger people would just ignore before, you know? But like now so much of the younger generation is like enthusiastic, pumped on the kind of work that you're doing and wanting to do the same thing with their workplaces. So yeah, I love that. I love that you created that.
Thank you.
And do you want to talk a little bit about your Hot Labor Summer tour and like how that has been?
Yeah, it's been amazing going to cities across the country that I've never been, and inspiring the youth, and like you said, just connecting with the younger generation face to face, and definitely connecting with just workers, you know, from different industries, all different backgrounds, and you know, it's helping keeping the ALU, the Amazon Labor Union, and keeping just the talk and conversation around unions alive. You know, we want to keep the fire burning ever since our victory, and this is just an extension of that. You know, going on tour. I just called it the Hot Labor Summer Tour because I'm being booked. It wasn't even a tour. You know, it's just my normal schedule now, and I'm like, you know what? Let's make a tour of it, and just coin that because it really, you know, it is what it is. You know, we are spreading across the country and keeping that awareness with and like you said, making unionizing cool.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. You know, having fun while, you know, doing something that's really stressful, you know, so got to make the best of it.
And I got to like firsthand experience some of the like the way that you make organizing really fucking fun. When I went to the concert last night, oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. Downtown LA. Organizers speaking on a panel, and then also Chris Smalls rapping, and it was just the fucking coolest thing. Like such a positive, supportive environment. I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of that.
Yeah, no doubt. It was lit. Definitely lit.
So lit.
You know, we have to create spaces where we can, you know, feel free and rejoice with one another and definitely bring people together, you know.
Totally.
That's what it's all about.
I love that. In addition to taking on the top employer in America and winning the very first Amazon union at a company that many said was ununionizable, You've been traveling the country and energizing crowds while protesting in front of CEO mansions and penthouses. You're truly helping to breathe life back into the labor movement. And it gives me immense joy to see you doing all of this work, so much of this work, while wearing an Eat the Rich jacket, which is fucking dope.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Love it.
So given all of this, I would love to just hear some of your views on capitalism and how you see your work relating to it. Like, do you see your struggle, your labor, your organizing work as fighting against capitalism? Yeah, can you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We're fighting the 1% class all the way. Billionaires, they got to go. And the rest, that's just what this whole thing is about. Really, we seen ourselves in the pandemic be deemed as essential workers, and realizing that we're not even being paid enough to survive, and the government is just ignoring the real issues that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So the only way we're gonna protect ourselves and get the things that we need is by fighting against the oligarchy in this country. And that's just hand in hand. Labor is the basis of all of that. We withhold our labor, billionaires don't get rich. So, until then, unionizing is a way of taking what's rightfully deserved and putting it back into the hands of the working class. And, we can get a lot more than what we're getting if we all, withhold our labor.
Yeah, absolutely. I just saw today an article in the news that was saying that the CEO of Amazon had made some statement that, $25 an hour is way too much. And, businesses can't be profitable if they're going to be paying people that much. Well, then, if you think that there should be a limit on what your workers should be paid, why the fuck aren't you limited in what you can be paid? The CEO pay is just fucking unlimitless or fucking limitless.
Yeah, he sounds like Lindsey Graham. The business won't be profitable. It's like, fuck the business. The business is the workers. The workers make the business operate. So how the hell can you say $25 is not enough? Let me tell you something. I was paid $25 at Amazon.
Yeah.
And I was the highest paid PA in JFK.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it wasn't enough money. I had a second job. So
living on Staten Island, you have such huge expenses.
It's not enough money. It's nowhere near enough money. So I don't know what he's talking about. And, that just tells me how disconnected they are. That's why, he gonna have to come to that table.
Yeah. I mean, they're so disconnected, and you are so absolutely connected with so many people, so many different groups, so many unions that are forming. Like, you're providing that support to so many people that it's really fucking amazing. I haven't seen anything like it
Thank you.
from anyone else. But I also want to credit your whole ALU team. I mean, Derek, Jay, Gerald. They're all fantastic. They've done such hard work. I mean, and I love that you are always kind of giving credit to your team, trying to decenter yourself from the struggle or from the work and the recognition that you're getting. Because it has been a group effort, and I don't know. That's such a solidarity-minded way of thinking about your kind of work that you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's never been about myself. It's always been about the people and those around me that continue to organize and continue to work at the company.
Yeah.
I don't work there, but these are the organizers that still, with the exception of me and Gerald, and Jay, the rest of them work there. Derek's still in the building, so he has to deal with it on both fronts, inside and outside.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm hoping I can speak with Derek in the future about some of the inside outside game that you guys speak about. I don't know if you would want to say anything about that, how
Oh yeah,
go for it.
I mean, just imagine being the face of a movement and clocking in to go to work and dealing with management and union busters still, because there's still, a few of them hanging around trying to convince workers that the union is not going to do anything. So, it's a lot for these organizers that, we work with, because they have to talk to coworkers every day. They have to answer questions every day. And they have to be a noble employee above the average employee because they have a target on their back.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So
they're all constantly on the chopping block.
Yeah, it's like the mental pressure of all of that on top of now we're fighting for a contract and recognition. It's crazy. So, me on the outside, I don't have to deal with the isolation of being inside a warehouse. But on the other hand, I do have a lot on my shoulders as well. So, it's a lot for all of us. And that's why it's going to take the collective of everybody to support the efforts of what we're doing.
Hell yeah. I hope you're getting a lot of that support. I mean, I see it building, but yeah, you guys deserve it. I wanted to talk about how a lot of powerful social movements have often employed elements of mutual aid, where, like in the Black Panther Party, they had these survival programs where they would be feeding the young kids, kids before school. They'd be giving like free bus fare to people, transportation for the elderly, doing these kind of like community support services just for free. So that kind of mutual aid I see is like kind of essential to this style of organizing. I thought of this when I learned that the ALU organizers were providing bus fare, holding barbecues, and handing out weed to coworkers. Can you talk a little bit about the value of offering this kind of support when working to organize?
Yeah, we've done a lot more than Amazon ever done for workers. That was the culture we created. People don't write about the good things we did. They always focus on the negativity and the fact that we allegedly gave out weed. But the weed was just, it was honestly socializing at its finest. It was illegal. Yeah. And on top of that, one story in particular, a lady who couldn't get to her doctor because she was at work.
Yeah.
She has, epilepsy.
Oh my
and
God.
The weed that we provided helped because she couldn't get to her doctor to refill her prescription.
Oh my gosh.
So
yeah.
Amazon doesn't care about that. They want her to clock in.
Yeah.
So it was little things, little details that mattered. And that's why we done things like provide barbecues and clothing items. We had, hats and scarves given out in the wintertime. We had book fairs, giving out free books.
Amazing.
The Rolling Library pulled up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We gave out school supplies, over 50 backpacks full of supplies for kids this year.
Wow.
And we partner with AOC for the homework helper program. So now there's parents in there that are getting help.
Wow.
Virtually. So we've done a lot of great things for our community and the workers and members in that building. And that's why, we're continuing to grow.
Yeah. I mean, when you just show that you have that shared humanity and you care about each other like that, and you're not just like all these isolated individuals that are just fending for themselves out in the capitalist wilderness,
No, absolutely not. We also, we pay medical bills. I just actually a worker had an emergency situation just yesterday, $1,500 medical bill.
Wow.
I'm like, hell yeah, let's take care of that because that's what, unions do.
That's fucking amazing. Love it so much. So on a related note, capitalism really wants us to exist as like isolated individuals and isolated family units. So most people barely even know their neighbors, let alone their coworkers. I feel like the incredibly connected and supportive rainbow coalition of workers you helped to bring together at Amazon shows that worker solidarity is a powerful antidote to isolation under capitalism. I'm wondering if you can speak about the importance of community and solidarity. We've spoken a little bit about that already, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what we represent as the Amazon Labor Union. That's our identity. You know, we're people that came from all walks of life to defeat Amazon. You know, we didn't know each other over a year and a half ago. Some of them came on halfway through our campaign. You know, it took time for them to even join the union. So it just shows, you know, that when people come together, that there's no amount of money in the world that can defeat us. You know, we look at ourselves, and when you look at us, you know, you have people from all different backgrounds, cultures, ethnicity, and it's a beautiful thing. You know, I love the fact that we're so diverse. I love the fact that we're so different, because that's what is really galvanizing to other people in the labor movement. You know, the fact that we're so unique, and you know, we're not traditional. We're really different when it comes to our style, and that's the beauty of the new generation of labor right now. You know, that's really the face of it. When you're talking about Gen Z, and you're talking about Starbucks workers, you know, these are worker-led movements that are being led by younger people.
Yeah, it's like the thing that is giving me hope about the future, like the one thing. As like capitalism gets worse and worse, and climate change gets worse and worse, like seeing like the young folks getting energized, and also seeing you guys being such a diverse crowd of organizers, just it shows people that it doesn't matter who you are, you can do this work, you can get into it and throw yourself into it, and you can start from scratch, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's so cool. Can you talk a little bit about some of the union busting tactics that were used at Amazon against you and others? Like what does that look like? What are they doing in the warehouse to prevent people from unionizing?
From the time we started campaigning, they were already spreading lies and misinformation. The thing about union busting is to create doubt and fear. So they spread a lot of misinformation about the union, about the organizers, myself. That was step one.
Yeah.
And then they started to increase it by flying in union busters that are being paid thousands of dollars
a day, right?
Yeah. They blend them in with the workers, make them feel like they're part of the Amazon system as employee relations, they call them. And they ask them questions about how the company can improve its conditions for them and make them feel like they really are going to take care of their needs or whatever. So just trying to be, gaslighting. They gaslight their workers, and
totally.
And from that point, then they start with the plastering of the signs and anti-union literature all over the building.
Oh, wow.
Bathroom stalls, cafeteria. And then it just grew to everywhere. The workstations, the tables.
Oh, my God.
The TVs in the room, the FC. And phone calls, text messages. They did all of that. On top of spending $4.3 million, called the police on us several times.
Jesus.
We've been surveilled several times. It's no limit to the amount of union busting that they are able to do. Yeah. And the laws in this country, once again, allow that.
Yeah.
Also, they held JFK workers in over 3,000 captive audiences.
Jesus Christ. That's so much time just sitting there and being force-fed propaganda.
Well, we cost them a lot of money. Like, the $4.3 million wasn't even a part of that, Imagine how many millions of dollars they lost by putting workers into over 3,000 classes.
Jesus, yeah. If people can not absorb that propaganda and like actually just sit there and then I guess it's good that they're just wasting money, but I feel like it's just will grow the fear that people have that Amazon's going to retaliate or do something if they organize. So it's so yucky.
Mm-hmm.
So can you speak a little bit about the old school versus the new school approach to organizing? I've heard you mention that a few times on different interviews. And I think that's really, really key and important. I want other organizers to learn the difference here, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, the difference is that there's a lot of leadership styles and methods that don't match the 21st century styles and methods of these corporations when it comes to union busting.
Yeah.
And not saying that we can't learn from history, but we also creating history at the same time. So like there's a lot of things that we just don't have anything to guide us through. We have to figure it out. And that's what we learned with our campaign with Amazon. It's like there's no playbook, this hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can look at an established union and be like, oh, the Teamsters did this back in 19 whatever.
Yeah.
It was nothing. It was like,
so it had to be a new school. It had to be new.
Created. It had to be something that was different, untraditional, which is we're out and open, we're outspoken about our things, we're vocal, as opposed to the old methods. You know, there were more secrecy. They were more militant when it came to, you know, getting to a majority first. We had to file with 30%.
Yeah.
You know, like literally on the cusp, because we know they hire and fire people every day.
I hate that.
So it's just a different style that we had to approach it with. And that brought the creativity of, you know, passing out weed or, you know, having a barbecue. That's what, you know, we noticed that we weren't going to be able to beat this company by doing things that were done in the past. We knew that we had to do things differently in our way.
Yeah. And your way is also so much about bringing the party and that being the solidarity, like having a good time together, being the solidarity, like it's fucking dope.
Hell yeah.
I would love to hear more about the working conditions at Amazon that drove you to organize, and a little bit about your concern about their lack of COVID-19 precautions.
Yeah, it was definitely scary at that time. You know, New York was the epicenter of the world. We had no PPE. We had nothing to protect us as workers. I have children, loved ones, everybody lives with loved ones and relatives. Some have, you know, elderly senior citizens in their homes, and you know, there was pregnant women, women with children, that were in the same group that I was with, you know, advocating. When we realized that the company wasn't going to do anything for us.
Yeah.
We spent the whole week, after I found out that one of the supervisors was positive and didn't tell anybody or wasn't allowed to tell the workers the truth, that we had to take action and hold a walkout, which led to my termination.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you took a stand there and you didn't just take that kind of like abuse and just you were being subjected to like, you know, a deadly virus, like so insane. I was incredibly paranoid about like getting exposed to anything. So the thought of walking around in these warehouses without PPE, interacting with all these people, sending off all the PPE to other places, like that would drive me fucking insane. You know?
Right. It was crazy. It was definitely an eerie time for workers all across the country.
Yeah. But I'm so glad that you took a stand there and you knew that it wasn't right. A lot of people just having to go to work every day in those conditions. But yeah, you did the right thing there. In response to being called not smart or articulate by Amazon leadership as they plotted to make you the face of their organization, you seemed to throw yourself even deeper into your work as an organizer. Did this like inspire you? Did it give you more determination to fight?
Yeah, of course it did. You know, I thought it was a good idea to be the face of the whole unionizing efforts.
That's awesome.
You know, so yeah, from that moment, we continued to fight and advocate for workers' rights. We formed the Congress of Central Workers, TCOEW, and we spent the first year before the ALU was even a thought, protesting in front of Jeff Bezos' mansions and penthouses. It was a great time. It really brought people together again. Even in dark times like the pandemic and social injustice, George Floyd was going on,
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor. So we were including a lot of these different movements in our advocacy as well. We protested with, social injustice groups and environmental groups like Extinction Rebellion.
Awesome.
We done a lot of things that brought people, together on the picket lines that year. And then it was a no-brainer to come back home and try to unionize, especially after Alabama wasn't successful the first time around.
Yeah. Yeah. And boy, did they miss an opportunity to learn from you guys when you went down there and they kind of like just dismissed you. Didn't want to work and collaborate and build solidarity.
Yeah, things happen for a reason. In their defense, I'm glad that they sort of like tweaked the organizers and
awesome.
They're back on path to hopefully becoming unionized as well. I know they're still waiting on their results right now, so we stand in solidarity with them, and
awesome.
They showed up for our rally the other day in Labor Day.
Oh, nice.
For Labor Day, so we're with them.
That kind of shows that like even the folks that are initially skeptical can like get on board with what you guys are doing and your different approach and start to learn from you even with initial resistance. Like that's very hopeful.
Absolutely.
For the labor movement. Could you talk a little bit about some of the important lessons that you would like current and future organizers to learn from the struggles and successes of the ALU?
Just look at the fact that we are, once again, ordinary people that came together. We take wins and losses every day. Every day is not the same. You're gonna have days of discouragement. You're gonna have days of doubt.
Yeah.
But every day is a new day to continue fighting. And when you get into organizing, you gotta be committed to the long game. The long haul, because once again, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
People think that they can become an activist and become an organizer because they see it on the internet. They see that other people are doing it and they think it's cool to do it. But it's a lot more to that. It's a lot more that comes with the territory. And you have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice something.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then, once again, it's just not for you.
Yeah.
So getting into it, going forward for anybody that's organizing, know that you got to stay committed to the fight every day. There's no backing out. You're either all the way in or you're all the way out. There's no in between.
On that note, do you feel like your job at the ALU is going to have an endpoint at any point, or do you think this is just going to be what you continue to do indefinitely? Organize other workplaces, keep building that solidarity.
Yeah, the ALU is going to be forever. ALU is never going anywhere now. It's forever.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. The ALU will last forever, regardless if I'm the president or not. The culture, the union itself is there.
Yeah.
As far as me, I'll always be an advocate for workers, regardless of what I'm doing. And I don't know what the future may hold, but as of now, I'm currently the president. We have a contract for 2-3 years, I believe, and we'll see what happens. If the workers vote me in, I'll be here.
Awesome. Fucking cool. I'm going to be speaking with a number of organizers in this season 3 of Cocktails and Capitalism. And we're going to be talking about like ways that folks can start to strategize and work towards a general strike. And I've heard you calling for a general strike as well. And I'm wondering if you could talk about why do you want one, and how do we get to that point? You know.
Well, simple. It starts with leadership, and it starts with really holding some of our unions accountable as well. There's a lot of them in this country.
Yeah.
It's not just the select few that's in the media all the time, and it really starts with ourselves. We have to get on the same page as far as working class people.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one, and then as far as holding the unions accountable, taking a stance. A lot of these unions don't take stances.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to women's rights and comes to social injustice, everybody walks the line, or they're too tied to the Democratic Party, and that hinders them from putting their leadership where their mouth is, and we can't allow that anymore. I call it out all the time, and just by me taking a stance as a union president, if I'm supposed to be respected as such, I'm saying where you guys at? I'm ready.
Yeah.
I know if I'm ready, you guys should take a stance as well. And how we get there is by holding them accountable. Just how we hold the elected officials accountable.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I was thrilled just to see that the ALU was out protesting after Roe was overturned. Like, you folks seem to really understand like the intersectionality of all these different struggles that people are throwing themselves into, and you show up for these other struggles, which is amazing. Like, great job there.
Absolutely.
What do you see as the future of the labor movement in America?
Well, I mean, I love the fact that, unions are on the rise again with these elections. But at the same time, we're still a ways away from getting the type of laws that we need. They're not passing the PRO Act. And there's certain laws that are still here that are still just way outdated. Talk about laws from the 1930s that don't match the 21st century. So for me, it's, labor right now, it really has opportunity to change this country, really. Yeah. What I hope to see is one day that we're able to, call a general strike and it actually happens.
Yeah.
Whether it's starting with one industry or all of them.
Yeah.
Labor can, really, really save really this country, because if we don't do anything now, there's going to be a point of no return. So I'm hoping that the continuance of all these unions that are emerging from different industries and the victories that we're having, we're going to reach different spaces. If it takes, celebrities getting involved, hopefully one day one of these A-list celebrities wake the hell up. It just takes that conversation to start. We have to continue putting our foot on the metal, because it's growing. It's growing right now. We're still in infancy stage, but I do see the trending of labor right now, and it's really positive. So I know I play a huge role in that. And, we continue this path. Hopefully labor will really have a say in this country where we can fix a lot of these systemic issues.
Do you think we'll ever be able to end capitalism? Sorry, that's a big question.
And what, in this lifetime?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, or ever.
I don't know. I mean, in capitalism, I would love to say that's a possibility. I mean, but I could definitely say we gonna do some damage. We definitely gonna take some haymakers at them right now, because to be honest with you, when we're talking about generational wealth, forming unions and putting money back into our communities and our pockets, like, that's the ultimate fuck you to capitalism. What's more powerful than a worker-led union?
Yeah.
That's completely independent. That's the scariest thing in the world. That's why they don't like the ALU.
Yeah. That's why they spend millions of dollars on union busting. Like, what is it, over $4 million that they've spent?
Yeah. And billions and trillions is being used against organized labor for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, because they know workers having the ultimate power. You know, we can do whatever. Yeah, we can end capitalism, but it's up to us.
Yeah.
You know, it's up to us, and we're not there yet in this country.
No,
you know?
not at all. But you folks are the folks that are making me think that maybe we could get there someday.
Love to see it.
Yeah. You're giving so many people hope that we can actually fight back and win the battle against corporations and the capitalist class. Do you have a parting message for workers around the world? And like, how can folks get involved and help to build this incredibly important labor movement?
Number one, show up. That's always step one in the right direction. You know, when there's a back signal out there, there's a call to action. Don't sit on the sidelines tweeting all the time. You got to get up and actually put your boots on the ground and show up for workers in solidarity. Start the conversations in your household with your family members. And, you know, as far as your job, your work environment, you know, don't quit your job because it's tough. You know, organize it.
Love that. There should be like a don't quit, organize hashtag or something.
Don't quit. You know, organize and, you know, form your union. It's being done in all industries. There's nothing that can stop you. You know, we're a prime example of that with the Amazon Labor Union.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Can you tell me any more about like your favorite drinks? I've tried to make an ALU cocktail and I'm trying to figure out what we should incorporate into that.
Oh my gosh, a whole lot of Henny.
Yeah, okay.
Henny everything. No, this is actually good. I mean, without the jalapeno, this is a great drink. This is a hot labor summer drink for real.
Fuck yeah.
You know, so cheers to that.
Cheers.
That's good. It's good. You know, yeah, whatever you come up with. I think the favorite drink for the ALU, which I put a lot of them on, is the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I heard that. That's awesome. I have the hypnotic here.
Right. So, you know, they love that drink. You know, we're going to have to tweak it a little bit, but we can come up with something with that base.
Nice. Perfect. That's exactly what I was kind of thinking. Well, fuck yeah. I will get back to you once we create something like that.
No doubt.
Hopefully you guys can enjoy it while you're doing your organizing.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so, so much for doing this with me, for being willing to take the time from all of the different work that you're doing, all of the different like meetings and gatherings and rallies that you're going between. Like I really, really appreciate your time. And even more than that, I appreciate your work so goddamn much. It's giving me life and hope.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.